It's the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This is for Thursday, the 19th of September. I'm Michael Groff. Dry conditions, temperatures remaining just a little bit below seasonal averages for the rest of the week. But by this weekend and certainly into next week, a warming trend takes over. Afternoon highs once again going into the triple digits, well above seasonal averages, and maybe, just maybe, flirting with record territory at times out there by the middle part of next week. What about rain chances? Well, we'll talk about that and some other interesting little quirks in our forecast as well as we dive on in and discuss. First, here's that almanac from yesterday. 97 degrees the afternoon high, 73 the morning low, 178 are the averages for this time of year. By the way, today marks the last day where the average high temperature in Phoenix is 100 degrees and remains below 100 all the way till late May. Does it really mean anything? No, of course not, because we'll have highs above 100 next week. But just one of those milestones in the year, something to look forward to, something to indicate that the seasons will be changing soon-ish. Looking outside right now, just after 10 o'clock, we've got mostly clear sky, and we're sitting at 84 degrees at Sky Harbor, dew point 45, humidity 25%. It's a light wind, and the barometer is steady. Satellite picture across the western half of the United States reveals a trough that sits off to the north and west of us. There's a spin in the clouds there. You've got some showers developing over parts of California, the Great Basin, to the north and west of us. That trough is going to move on through here tomorrow, early Saturday. That should help to keep temperatures just a little bit below average, but then as it lifts on out, it will start to warm up. Of course, the evolution of that system is still a little bit in doubt. Watch warning map is very quiet across the country. A little wind across parts of the Dakotas and Montana. Some wind advisories and lake wind advisories. Convective outlook for today. The standard slight risk of severe storms, level 1 out of 5. And that extends from around Kansas City up to Des Moines, Minneapolis, St. Paul, Duluth, Minnesota. And so we could see some strong, damaging straight line winds in the strongest storms there and a little bit of hail as well. A little bit of thunder possible to the north and west of the state today. The tropics in the Atlantic, we've got a couple of waves out there in the Atlantic. One of those is sort of the leftovers of what was Gordon. That could maybe redevelop, but that's going to go harmlessly out to sea. These systems don't really look like they're going to form into anything much. The Hurricane Center giving them a very low probability of formation. Now, what we are going to watch is an area of disturbed weather that is anticipated to develop out there in the Southwest Caribbean over the next few days and maybe drift up toward the Gulf of Mexico. Now, we talked about this the other day. Some of our deterministic modeling, will, especially in the GFS, has shown some sort of tropical cyclone to develop out here by about 7 to 10 days. And that is possible. Obviously, we are still in the climatological peak of hurricane season here in mid-September. Obviously, that's something that can happen. But will it happen? Well, let's look at probabilities here. This is the probabilistic outlook from the European Ensemble. And this is the probability of a tropical storm developing over the next 10 days. And the numbers are increasing. The probabilities are increasing, particularly over the western and southwest Gulf of Mexico, the Bay of Campeche. Almost a 50% chance now, about a coin flip's chance that a tropical storm forms there. As well as off the Mexican coast, there's a chance of tropical storm formation, and that's always interesting for us. I don't think that really amounts to anything, but again, we'll talk about that as well in modeling in just a moment. Speaking of rainfall, though, which we could really use, tropical storms, rainfall, we could use something around here, and we're not going to see much of that. The precipitation outlook valid through Thursday morning of next week. Rain amounts in Phoenix, nothing. Statewide, we could see a little bit of light precipitation for the northwestern portion of the state, the higher elevations of northern Arizona, as that aforementioned trough to the north and west of us swings on by. It gives a few showers and storms up there. And again, the evolution of that system will be interesting to watch, and we'll get into that right now as we explore the models, see what the future may hold. Here we go. This is the GFS. It is the 12Z running. It's valid at 5 o'clock this afternoon. Troughing to the north and west of us. Negative height anomalies remain here over the southwestern United States. Southwesterly flow, so of course we will stay dry. And what it means down at the surface for the rest of the day today, sunny and warm, but not unseasonably so. As a matter of fact, temperatures just a little bit below seasonal averages with highs in the mid-90s or so, maybe upper 90s this afternoon. But we should stay shy of the century mark and thus staying below average. That's good. Tonight with clear sky and dry air, lows drop in the mid-60s in the cool spots, low 70s for the urban core. And then tomorrow, it's more of the same, sunny sky, a little bit of a light breeze and high temperatures, low to mid-90s with that trough sitting to the north and west of us. And you do see the GFS is trying to paint in a few showers and thunderstorms to the north and west of us, across parts of southern Nevada, northwest Arizona, and some of the adjacent areas. And that's possible, but we're not going to see anything here in the southern part of the state. It's just too dry, and there's not a lot of moisture associated with this trough, but still enough dynamics are around for a few showers and storms up toward the Las Vegas Valley, maybe Kingman. So if you're heading up that way, be advised of that. Now, as we go to the weekend, this trough is going to lift out, or at least that's how it appears, although the last couple runs of the GFS have been kind of interesting in holding this system back a little bit and kind of lingering a piece of it or some sort of energy and negative height anomalies across the southwest. So the day on Saturday looks sunny. Again, a light breeze in the afternoon. High temperatures will probably still be in the mid to upper 90s. A little bit cooler than that possible. Temperatures are a little bit of a tricky forecast here for Saturday, depending on how this trough lingers around. But I'd say we could ballpark it around 95 degrees, give or take a little bit, a couple of degrees either side of that for Saturday here in Phoenix. Sunday, the thinking has been that this low will lift out and we start a warming trend, and that is still the likely outcome, but this run of the GFS continues to linger a piece of this energy around, a little bit of low pressure just to the north of us, and that could keep temperatures a couple of degrees lower. For now, we're going to go highs upper 90s to about 100. With Monday having highs warm up a few more degrees, around 100 to 104. But what is notable here is there are a few showers and thunderstorms depicted just to the north of us around the Four Corners region. Tuesday still shows maybe a few showers and storms, perhaps for northern Arizona. Now, we're going to be dry. Highs 101 to 105 is our current forecast. And that seems likely, but if this low does hang around, again, we won't see any precipitation, but temperatures might be a few degrees lower than that. Same deal Wednesday. Highs 101 to 105 is the forecast for now. Yes, there could be a few showers and storms across northern Arizona, around the Four Corners, and especially over into parts of New Mexico with this low lingering about. But that currently is kind of an outlier solution. Let's go to a week from today. This is where things start to get a little bit more interesting. This is Thursday, the 26th. Few features of note. Okay, got a trough there over the eastern seaboard. And the GFS is depicting a couple of tropical cyclones on the board. One near the Yucatan, another one southwest of the Baja. Now, let's be very clear about this. The GFS does this all the time, and during hurricane season, it paints in these rogue tropical cyclones. Now, sometimes these scenarios happen, but many times they don't. And of course, forecasting any sort of tropical cyclone that hasn't even formed yet a week out and beyond is absolutely silly. It's fantasy stuff. But what we look for on this is not specifics, but model trends. And the trend is to develop some sort of area of low pressure, a broad low that has the potential to develop into a tropical cyclone out here toward 7 to 10 days out there in the Southwest Caribbean and over toward the Gulf of Mexico, as well as potentially in the Eastern Pacific, which of course is more relevant for us. So let's look at these scenarios, okay? This is, again, the GFS a week from today, all right? And yes, you've got that tropical cyclone out there in the central Gulf of Mexico, and it's developing. And you've got this that's sitting out there to the southwest of the Baja. And of course, anytime that happens this time of year, we watch that feature, at least for our weather, we of course watch that. But given the position of high pressure, given the general location of what we believe will be ridging sitting across the southwest, that probably will not impact us. Still, we'll keep an eye on model trends. Going out 10 days. This is Saturday the 28th. And oh boy, okay, the GFS for us is ridging here over the west, and we're dry and above average temperatures. It has a tropical cyclone, and you will be seeing this on social media. I have no doubt about it. The fly-by-nighters and the hypesters and all those people that love to scare you and fearmonger you will be posting this. And they'll say, look at this. Look at this. We got ourselves a hurricane's going to be coming up on Tampa Bay in 10 days. And there you go. That's what the GFS has. It has this, what would be a major hurricane near Tampa Bay on Saturday the 28th. Now, let's talk about that. Is that possible? Of course it's possible. This is hurricane season. We have seen scenarios like this happen before. Is it likely? Of course not. This is something we are just going to have to watch. I will show you what the European model is doing at the exact same time. Okay, this is Saturday the 28th. What does it have? Well, first, it has a trough that's coming toward the west coast and a southwesterly flow, and temperatures might be backing off. It has a pretty substantial ridge over the nation's midsection that noses all the way up into central and northern Canada. It does have that trough for the east coast, but the tropical low in question, it has a much weakened form of it sitting out across the Bay of Campeche. So both models do have some type of broad low, some type of area of low pressure, maybe a tropical cyclone forming, but one has it out there in the southwest Gulf. The other has it coming up on Tampa Bay. Two very different solutions. Which one will be accurate? Probably neither. The truth will be something maybe completely different from that. But that's why we have these models, and that's why we watch things, and that's why we don't try to scare people about something that hasn't even developed 7 to 10 days in advance, because that is lunacy. But I will tell you, the reason we even mention it here is because, well, we discuss models, and I just want you to know what you'll probably be seeing out there in the social media spheres. And if you watch these videos, you already know this. It's nothing to get excited about. It's nothing to get worked up about. And if you have friends in Florida or the Gulf Coast that are saying, they tell us there's going to be a hurricane down here in 10 days, what are we going to do? I would just tell you, first of all, don't worry about it. Secondly, there's this guy on YouTube you should really be watching. You should watch the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion. This guy, he'll keep you grounded in reality. And that's what we try to do here. All right. Look at a rainfall for Phoenix off of the GFS ensemble. This goes out through the 3rd of October. How about not much of anything? You know, there are a couple of members that try to show a little bit of rain with this system that comes on by here tomorrow or Saturday. But I would say, even though it's a non-zero chance mathematically, it's basically zero. That's just, there's no real moisture with that. We'll watch that system, but I don't think it's going to have much impact on our weather. European ensemble is the same story. Basically no rain for the next couple of weeks. Looking at temperatures off the national blend of models. Gross, disgusting, horrendous, awful. I've run out of superlatives to describe it for this entire summer. We've been talking about this all summer. Yes, the next couple of days look great. But next week, yes, it looks absolutely putrid. All right? And I know, you're like, when are these 100-degree days coming to an end? And the answer is, I don't know. I would hope very soon. Historically speaking, based on the 30-year averages, the last 100-degree day is around the 2nd of October or so. If you look at all-time climate period data, it's around the 24th or 6th of September. But either way, we're going to have temperatures well above average, probably for the rest of the month and into early October, based on current long-wave patterns. Hey, but I'll tell you what, instead of looking at this, let's look at Flagstaff instead. This looks like a much, much better graphic. I like this one much better. You know what? This is the way I look at things. I want to look at things more optimistically today. Positivity. So maybe sneak up to Flagstaff. Highs mostly, well, how about 60s, 70s, overnight lows in the 40s. Sounds perfect. That's my kind of weather right there. And that's going to do it for the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion for today. My next video is due back here tomorrow morning. Should you happen to enjoy these videos, then be sure to subscribe, like, share, click that notification bell, leave those comments, questions, and suggestions. Of course, If you really like what we do here, then click that thanks icon below the video here on YouTube. Make those monetary contributions to us, or you can donate via PayPal. groffshow@gmail.com is the PayPal address. It's groffshow@gmail.com for PayPal. The executive producer of the Phoenix, Arizona weather discussion is my one and only, the sweetest of all time, the Asian sensation and proprietor of sweetchildaz.com.org and the Facebook page of the same name, Sweet Child Arizona, talking about my Michelle. Check her out. Check out her website. Check out her videos. Check out everything that could possibly be Michelle related, linked up down in the description. And also Michelle plus Mike related. Our streaming station available 24/7, 365 called KMGX. We play a ton of music and have a lot of fun with that. So give that a listen as well. All right, thank you guys so much for watching and all of your continued support. It is so greatly appreciated. Please be safe, stay cool, stay hydrated out there, and have yourselves a beautiful rest of your Thursday.